these two quarterbacks. Weather here in New England on this Saturday is absolutely beautiful. Low 70s, light breeze out of the northwest. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Picture perfect for football on this fall Saturday in the Boston area. Temple won the toss. They will receive. These teams have not met since 2004 when they were both conference mates in the previous incarnation of the Big East. Taking it to 6. Isaiah Wright. Wright cutting towards the outside, cuts back in, brought down at the 31. That won't be the only time we see Isaiah Wright touch the ball today.
He is some weapon that the coaches want to get the football in his hands. 10 to 12 touches is ideal for Isaiah Wright, and they will line him up just about everywhere, just anywhere on the field.
We won't be surprised at some point to see quarterback Frank Newtile, who's had a leg injury, or Todd Centeo. But Anthony Russo gets the start once again.
Yeah, big classic pocket passer that can push the ball around in this high-tempo offensive Temple.
Give it right back to Wright, but that is well read. And he loses about 3 yards.
Yeah, they call that set the Power I Wright, which is a play of his name, Isaiah Wright. But as I mentioned, he will line up everywhere. Slot receiver out wide. They'll line him up in the backfield. He is just a tremendous weapon on offense.
Right now in the slot on the near side as Armstead went in motion, quick pass, and they get it to Wright. But he's touched the ball on the first 3 plays, including the kickoff. He's about 2.5 yards shy of the first down.
Yeah, Boston College decided to go straight man-to-man, which is cover one safety in the middle of the field. And Wright is a big receiver. He's 6'2", 220 pounds. Just using that big frame, kind of like boxing out in basketball. Got inside position, and Anthony Russo right on the money with the football. Look for Boston College, Mark, to try to mix coverages, to mess with Anthony Russo a little bit, try to get in his head, give him some zone, give him some man, crowd the box to try to take away Armstead.
Temple refused that offsides penalty on BC, so it's a 3rd down and 2 on this, the first possession, and they give it to him. The back carries it with his forward momentum. Is going to have the first down up by the 42. Ben Stewart, the free safety, came up to make the hit.
I don't know about you, but this week when we got a chance to talk to Temple and head coach Jeff Collins, they seemed confident. Did not seem intimidated in the slightest bit of coming to Boston College. We're looking forward to the challenge.
Right back to Armstead, straight ahead, found a little crease. He's up to midfield. Both coaches, Andre, also wanted to dictate tempo and kind of kick it up a notch or two.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And also keep a look at the box count. And there are 6 in the box for Boston College. That's going to signal Armstead getting the football. They love how this offensive line's playing right now.
Pre-snap flag.
Ball start. Offense number 71.
That's one of the problems with going fast.
Down.
Sometimes those big grunts up front get a little antsy and trying to anticipate the snap count, and they get caught there.
So the true freshman Adam Klein. There's Frank Newtiles, had the knee injury, but they say he's about 95%. Wouldn't be a surprise to see him get some time today. We'll see.
Good player.
Russo goes out to midfield, and that catch is made. This is Brandon Mack down the sideline, but he steps out at the BC 40. He still picks up 15 yards and a first down.
Now, they got everything you want offensively. They got a very good back. They've got big receivers on the outside, and Ventel Bryant along with Brandon Mack. And then they've got the playmaker, Isaiah Wright, in the slot. I mean, everything you would want on offense, Temple has it, and then they're getting better offensive line play.
Number 81, 5-yard penalty.
A repeat of what happened.
They got to stop
couple
that.
Of snaps,
yeah, they got to cut that out because it is hard to start converting when you're behind the down and distance marker. There's the box count again is at 6. They're trying to play 2 safeties.
Russo, quick strike, caught at the 40, turning upfield. That's Randall Jones, one of the wideouts. He's out at about the 36, a 9-yard gain.
Junior out of Miami Beach, Florida. And it seems as though when there's the penalty and the box count is at 6 or they are empty, they're going quick game.
Russo threads a pass but dropped by Wright. Pretty well defended. Even had he caught that, would have been short of the first down by a couple of yards. Well, they told us they'd like Wright to get 12 touches. He may get that on the first possession.
No doubt about it. I mean, especially when you factor in a couple of penalties and a couple of do-overs, he may very well get the 12 or 10 to 12 touches here on this first drive. And a nice matchup at the top.
Face a 3rd and 6. They've converted on 1 3rd down on the drive. That's deflected, incomplete off the hands of Brandon Mack. And it's 4th down at the 36.
Wanted to go there once again. He gets press coverage on a big receiver. This pre-snap read as a quarterback, that is attractive to you. And you want to give a guy that's already made a catch for you an opportunity to pick up the first down.
And no hesitation. Jeff Collins going for it on 4th and 6 from the BC 36. Russo with time. That's batted down, incomplete. And Boston College will take over on downs.
Well, he got pressure right in his face from Zach Allen. Right in.
Well, Temple turned it over on downs on their first possession, but something that kind of snuck in here, Andre, the first play of the drive, look who's at quarterback. It's Untitled with Russo in the backfield.
Yeah, an exotic look with both quarterbacks in the game, and then Isaiah Wright to their left getting the handoff. A little trickery on the first play.
They also had Centeo in there, so they really had 3 quarterbacks in the game on the first play, and then Untitled went to the sideline, put the headset on.
That's one of those setup situations where later in the game we're going to see it again, and there will be a pass from that look.
Well, we see the Boston College offense for the first time, and Anthony Brown, the redshirt sophomore, those 4 picks last week against Purdue. Handoff, AJ Dillon. We're going to say AJ Dillon's name a lot because Steve Adazio, when we visited with him yesterday, said you're going to see a lot of running from AJ Dillon.
Yeah, he is just a punishing runner. Gets downhill, not afraid to take on defenders. And this is going to be a box game.
Trying to make it to the edge this time. Lowers the shoulder. He gets upended by Rock Yassin,
who is a willing tackler for a corner. NFL scouts absolutely love this young man. Transferred in from Presbyterian when they shut down their program.
Yeah, we'll add more to that story in a bit that Andre's talking about. It is an amazing one for Yassin. Again, Dillon. And he was one more broken tackle away from really busting that one. Sean Bradley able to run him down a 9-yard gain.
Well, just right downhill. It kind of felt like Boston College would come out, try to establish the line of scrimmage, a couple of tight ends, and just, hey, we're going to play tight formations until you stop us and unleash A.J. Dillon.
Brown looks to throw, and he threads one in complete. Chris Garrison.
Nice drive being put together by Scott Leffler. You soften them up, then tighten it right back down and give it to Dillon.
Brown under center, hands off. Dillon again, but that time no gain. Is Delvon Randall and Michael Dogby in there.
Temple really has no choice. We got a little extra going on, and a flag has come out, but they've got to load the box up to stop this big guy. That is a tough way to go about business if you allow Dillon to get going.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 5, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. That's number 5.
So far,
first
Mark,
unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
On the Temple Owls.
They had on linebacker Sean Bradley, who's their leading tackler on the season coming in.
Leader of the defense, brings a tremendous amount of energy each and every day. Looking in there for number 5. There he is, just
a little extracurricular going on there.
Giving them the business, as they say in the world of wrestling.
Jeff Smith with the catch and modest 3-yard gain, but right back to the line come the Eagles. They have a 2nd and 7 from just outside the 20 of the Owls. Brown. You know, if you're a lineman, you hate that because that goes as a quarterback goes as a sack. Loss of 3.
You know, they run pace, and I would say pace more so than tempo. Tempo you kind of equated to spread offenses. They're spreading the field and going as fast as they can. Boston College will run traditional formations and personnel, yet they will run it with pace. They're right at the line of scrimmage.
Taking a shot towards the end zone. Well covered. Delvon Randall picked it off. It's a touchback. Temple will take it at the 20.
I want you to watch the break that Delvon Randall took on this ball and the angle in which he played it. He was a first-team all-conference player a year ago, and this is why. The angle of number 2, a single-digit player for Temple. What a catch by the senior safety for the Temple Owls. The Owls set up to do business.
And is being reviewed. We'll see how that plays out. We're scoreless with 9:25 to play first quarter.
Well, a couple of views that we had, I just don't know if there's enough to really overturn the call on the field. So I think it's going to stand. But it looks as though Boston College.
Well, he does get that right foot down, but is the ball juggled after the foot comes down going to the ground there?
Well, Boston College is getting their offense ready. I'm not sure they've got the word. We're getting ready to get the official word here.
After further review, the defender bobbled the ball and did not maintain control of the pass to the ground. Therefore, it is incomplete. It will be 4th down and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Well, I guess that little juggle on the way to the ground by Randall was enough for our replay official, Rusty Ackery, to reverse the call. And a big play here early, so it keeps Boston College with possession.
I'm just not sure there's enough. I mean, you got a second foot that's down. Not sure.
But they are going to go for it. It is 4th down.
You got a false start here.
False start. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty.
So 4th and 10 turns into a 4th and 15. But them still going for it here really tells you all you need to know as far as the lack of confidence right now in their kicking game. They've not even attempted a field goal yet this year, Boston College. The main kicker, Colton Lichtenberg, is out. He may be back next week, is the word.
Play clock getting down.
Brown with time, throws, and a first down catch. Kobe White at the 12.
Not sure how you give up that much cushion on 4th down in the secondary. Hey, just a tremendous amount of room to allow a square in to be completed. It's just beyond me. Sometimes you play a little bit too conservative.
Well, they needed 15 yards on 4th down. He got 17, and then a quick carry stuffed. Here's a look at that throw and pass, that throw and catch.
Good job by Anthony Brown threading the needle in there.
9th catch of the year for Kobe White, and a big one there, and straight up the middle, but then stapled down by that defense. Quincy Roche, defensive end, put that last hit on him, on Dillon.
Roche is some player.
In fact, he's the reigning defensive player of the week in the American Conference. Brown looks back left. He's got him wide open, and what a nice catch, an adjustment, touchdown. Tommy Sweeney. Andre, that ball looked like it was going to sail over Sweeney's head, but he's 6'5". He used all of that, got a mitt on it, and hauled it in for his 3rd touchdown catch of the year.
Yeah, it's the catch radius. A guy that's 6'5", 260. It was overthrown, but the athletic ability of Tommy Sweeney sneaking out the backside, getting everybody thinking they're rolling right. He comes back to the left. He's by himself, and that's one heck of a job just reeling that one in.
John Tessitore on for the point after. High snap, brought down in time. That is away and good. That'll make Dad Joe Tessitore, our colleague, happy, who's here watching the game today. But wow, what a play.
A nice action to the play. Anthony Brown rolling right. Sweeney sneaking out the
15. Also, keep in mind there was what we thought was a Delvon Randall interception for Temple that replay took away.
Yeah, when we watched, I went back, we watched it again. I didn't really see the second foot, the left foot, actually drag. I just didn't think there was enough video evidence to overturn the call on the field.
True freshman Longman's kick rolls out. Hey, coming up tonight on ABC, expect whiteout conditions for this one. It's the top 10 matchup with big-time college football playoff implications. Number 4 Ohio State, number 9 Penn State at Beaver Stadium. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and live on the ESPN app, so you can watch it anywhere. Saturday Night Football presented by Wells Fargo.
If Penn State starts slow like they have most of the season, might get out of hand. Nice job last week by Miles Sanders, rushing for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Russo to throw on first down and a completion. Oh, dropped by Yeboah.
Big tight end, just a redshirt sophomore from Allentown, PA. Got to hold on to that one. Nice job by Russo to start the game and getting the ball out quickly and with accuracy, and ball's well thrown. Should reel that one in.
4 straight incompletions now for Russo. Going to hand off, and a good head of steam by Armstead, who busts free. Rock Armstead off to the races. And just like that, Temple an extra point away from tying this game.
Wow. He made Luke Dennis just miss, breaking a tackle. And then it was just speed, and you got to love the intensity in which Armstead runs. Hard, fast, downhill, running through tackles, and then the speed, as we mentioned at the top, to hit the home run. Wow.
That man was running angry. 75-yard touchdown run. Will Mobley for the point after. And boom, it's 7-7. This was a thoroughbred run. What a run by Rock Armstead. Just his second rushing touchdown of the year, but it goes for 75 yards. Returned by Michael Walker for Boston College, but there is a flag.
That's right in that area where the kickoff team may have been offside.
Kicking team number 4. 5-yard penalty.
Additional yardage
First
added.
down.
A 7-7 game midway through this first quarter in Chestnut Hill.
Boy, you know, you go back to that run and think about the anger in which Armstead hits the hole and runs through the 185-pound Lucas Dennis, who he outweighs, but then the speed to go. And it's almost like, hey, I've heard all this talk about AJ Dillon. I got a little game myself, and I'm going to show everybody. It's a running back duel. That's 60-plus rushing plays. Armstead, 76-yard touchdown. That goes all the way back to 2016 versus UCF. Man, what a run.
They're going to make him re-kick it here.
One thing, talking to Jeff Collins this week, that he felt like, hey, we got to be in the game early, but the sound of the entire coaching staff just kind of was exuding confidence. I mean, they felt like we can come here, come to Boston College, and win the football game. Pretty good start for both teams.
Yeah, it's a team, Temple, that lost to Villanova in week 1, then lost to Buffalo. They're 0-2, but then played well at Maryland.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks they've been on point.
Beat Tulsa just over a week ago on a Thursday night in Philly. A chance for Walker to return this from the 10 to the 25 and stapled down and lost the football. It's loose, live ball picked up, and for Temple taking it into the end zone, Isaiah Graham Mobley.
I'm not sure who had the tackle on the play, but he knocks it loose.
I think it's Rich Ravato, number 4, playing on special teams. We'll see.
Wow.
But
What a tackle. I mean, it was about as good a form tackle as you can come up with.
For a touchdown. Previous play is under further review.
They're going to take a look at the review here to make sure it's a fumble, but if it stands, Isaiah Graham Mobley. Rich Ravato has the knee down.
It's close. It is close.
His backside may have been down.
It's a better angle here. Ravato with the tackle. I think it's simultaneous as he is about to touch. The ball's coming out, and I don't think there's enough video evidence because the ball's coming loose before he touches to overturn this one.
Well, our replay official, Rusty Ackery, we're just midway through the first quarter. This is the second
close call.
Kind of hard one for a replay official here.
It is loose as he's, his backside is touching. Like you start to lose the football where you can't really say you still have possession. Right about there, it's coming loose, and then it pops on out. I think this one's going to stand. He no longer has. He went back a couple of frames, and it's coming out, and then he touches.
But it's so close. But again, the call on the field, which played out with the scoop and score for Isaiah Graham Mobley. So there has to be enough to overturn the call, and you haven't seen that as of yet.
Not yet. Look out, AAC. Temple is awake. Get into conference play next week against Carolina. And they go on the road to Navy.
The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown, Temple.
Well, it kind of felt like it would stand. Not enough video evidence to clearly overturn the call. What a start for the Temple Owls.
With how close both these two calls have been, the interception and there the fumble.
I wouldn't want that job.
We might have had a little instant karma coming back there for Temple to have it go their way this time. We'll see.
You'd rather have this side of the karma than the interception.
Will Mobley's point after. Temple with a statement here on special teams. Special teams a big deal. Head coach Jeff Collins even has his nose in special teams. But what a hit by Rich Ravato. And the scoop and score. Well, the score on special teams, Isaiah Graham Mobley picking up the fumble and taking it into the end zone. 19 yards for a touchdown. And the Owls have scored on special teams. They lead 14-7.
What it does is it puts a little pressure on BC. Not enough to where you get out of your game plan. You want to run AJ Dillon and then play action from that. Move Anthony Brown around a little bit. They're still very much able to do so. One of the things they talked about in terms of keys to the game was protect the football. They had won 87% of their games when they protect the football.
Lines from the 10 this time for BC. Lyons a nice return out to the 35, but a flag flies late.
It's almost always against the return team for maybe a block in the back or a hold. It's thrown right into the pile around the return.
Illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 28. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Indeed, that's the case. Let's check in for the first time with Chris Cotter in the studio.
Marc-Andre, I got a nice return for you. This DirecTV, more for your college football thing, is Jalen Waddle for Alabama. Cuts to the right, gets some blocks, gets to midfield. Once he makes his cut back to the left, forget about it. A little stutter step, 21-0 already, tied on top over on the SEC network. Meanwhile, Syracuse up 6-0 over Clemson.
A true freshman from Episcopal High School in Houston, Texas.
Dillon. We got these two running backs. They know what the other's doing, man. This is almost like a personal grudge match between these two.
There's no doubt. AJ Dillon, highly regarded around the country. Everybody knows him. Armstead trying to get on everybody's radar, and this is going to be a nice, fun matchup to watch throughout the game.
Dillon tripped up by Delvon Randall.
It's also going to put a lot of stress on Temple's defense. Bodies in the box, a lot of guys around the line of scrimmage trying to play 7, 8-man fronts to stop this running game with AJ Dillon.
8 carries for 38 yards for Dillon, who had just 59 rushing yards on 19 carries last week at Purdue. Brown taking a shot. C.J. Lewis. Did he hang on? No, incomplete.
Well, he is what it's supposed to look like as a receiver. 6'4", 210 pounds, a converted quarterback, where he played quarterback in high school. When he got here, they moved him to wide receiver, but just did not hold on. You could clearly see the ball come out right at the end.
Well, he skied for that one.
I'll tell you what, these big guys throw him some jump balls. No, I think you can go out there and get warm and complete a couple when you got players like that.
You didn't throw many jump balls for that run and shoot,
Not
did
a
you?
whole lot. I was throwing downhill at the short 5'8", 5'9" guys.
Travis Levy now in as the back, and he motions out.
But I love every one of them, I tell you that.
Play clock ran out.
The penalty's been a big part of this game. Remember, a 3rd and 15, they get 17 yards, so look for an in route. Got to protect and allow these receivers to get down the field and give Anthony Brown a chance to complete one for a first down.
The BC after the penalty behind the chains here at 3rd and 13. Brown flushed out, throws to the sideline, grabbed at the 45 by Walker, steps out at the 46, and maybe a late hit there.
And it definitely is. And I thought the flag was coming. It came a little bit later than I anticipated. Russell, the linebacker, arrives just a step or two late.
This almost is like a turnover, because it would have been interesting. It would have been 4th and about 4.
Well, 2 big
After
third
the play,
downs.
Yeah.
I mean, you give up a 3rd
late hit out
and
of
15.
bounds. Defense number 3, 15-yard penalty.
And you surrender a first down to a personal foul penalty. That's 2 big instances in the game that have hurt the Temple Owls defensively.
And BC likes to go for it on 4th down, but they weren't on the plus side.
That might have been one where
punt.
they would have punted the football.
Here comes a blitz off the edge. Dillon can't find much there. Maybe a half yard or so for AJ Dillon.
Nice job by Roche. Coming from the backside, conference defensive player of the week this past week, and the team's best pass rusher.
Brown, quick strike. Jeff Smith. He's going to have a first down at the 28 of the Owls.
I'm impressed with the way Anthony Brown's moving the ball around from the pocket. They've moved him. The last play got flushed out and was able to complete one on the run, but a nice job of shifting gears, so to speak, with his arm.
Dillon turns it upfield, lowers the shoulder. He got about another 5 yards after the first contact.
Ooh, what a punishing runner.
9-yard gain.
Isaiah Graham Mobley felt the impact of that truck.
So 2nd and short. Flag's really an issue now. Or did he get it?
Previous play is under further review for a possible targeting.
We're going to take a look for a possible targeting call here. Well, this is going to go up to the replay official once again, Rusty Ackery.
Rusty has been, Mr. Ackery has been busy today.
That was the personal foul that kept the drive going, but here's the last play. Was that Randall?
I don't know about that. He's trying to, well, The helmets did collide. He comes in leading, and he's trying to turn at the last second.
Now that was Delvon Randall, I believe.
And that would be a huge loss for Temple.
And the way this went down, Andre, it almost seems like the replay official buzzed down to stop play.
To take a look at it. And this is a guy that means so much to Temple's defense on the back end. He played 105 plays last week against Temple.
105. That's absurd, isn't it?
He has the most experience of any player, defensive player, on that side of the ball.
You saw the targeting rule.
After review, there is no foul for targeting. Second down.
So no targeting, and that's a sigh of relief on the Temple side. But they do not lose Delvon Randall. You lose Delvon Randall, you got to make up those 105 plays somewhere else.
I know. Right now, Jeff Collins is breathing a sigh of relief because he does not want to lose Randall.
Go to the jumbo package here.
Guess who's getting it?
That would be Dillon. Wow, you know, I don't know. We'll see about the spot. I think he may be a little short.
Maybe a little short, but they're going to roll the dice with him again. And Graham Mobley is trying to pay back a little bit. Boston College trying to tempo this fourth down.
Kept by Brown, but it may have been a timeout first called by Temple, and that is the case. So no play, timeout as the Owls use their first.
Excuse me, third down.
So we'll step aside, but just for 15 seconds. We'll spend Temple on top of Boston College. Steve Adazio, the Boston College head coach in his 6th season, who spent 2 years as the Temple head coach in 2011 and 2012.
Guess who's going to get it here? Give it to number 2. A little quarterback sneak.
Well, they were going to run the sneak before Temple got the timeout, so they stayed with that play. And enough for Anthony Brown, 3 yards. First down, BC.
Yeah, small win here if Temple's able to hold to a field goal, and be surprised if Anthony Brown doesn't run some play action here in a minute.
Pitches to Dillon. Dan Archibong tackles him on what is Dillon's 12th carry already today.
Well, he is some player, but it is ripe right now for play action some sort. You show it to Dillon here and pull it, get him on the edge.
Brown looking, rolling right. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Boston College. Jeff Smith. Touchdown catch number 3 this year with a senior from St. Pete, Florida, Jeff Smith.
Yeah, another converted quarterback that moved to wide receiver 3 years ago. He's got tremendous speed, but this is just a breakdown in coverage. Miscommunication on the back end. Smith continues his route and pops himself wide open.
John Tessitore's point after. And no. He's now 14 of 18 in PATs. Now the missed extra points. And it's still a 1-point lead for Temple. But a nice drive for Boston College. And their first drive as well, a good one that they took to the end zone. Our Buick Drive recap.
Yeah, this one where they get a reprieve, an overturn on the interception. It goes back, they complete it on 3rd and 15. They get 17 to keep the drive moving. And then a little throwback to Tommy Sweeney, the big 6'5" tight end, to get on the board first.
Anthony Brown trying to bounce back from a 4-interception game last week. 7 for 9. 2 TD passes today. 71 yards. Right just outside the goal line. Flag comes down at about the 30.
A lot of flags here early.
During the return,
not out of the first
holding,
quarter.
receiving team, number 88, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Hey, you can stream college football all season long on ESPN Plus. So you can start your free trial today by downloading the ESPN app or visiting ESPNplus.com. After the penalty, Temple beginning at their own 18-yard line. In motion comes Chris Myrick to tie it in, and Russo going to take a shot. His man's got a couple of steps, but incomplete off the hands of Freddie Johnson. And Temple missed a chance there.
What a double move by Freddie Johnson. I mean, he completely freezes the corner, and that's one tomorrow when they're watching the film that Russo's going to just kick himself because he had him wide open. Maybe he stretched out a little bit more to catch that one, but just about half a yard shorter, and we got a foot race.
5 straight incompletions for Russo. He hands off. 4 yards for Armstead.
Yeah, it's a little tough, Mark, when you don't get anything on first down. The defense knows that, hey, to get back on schedule, they're going to run the football just to try to get it to third and manageable. And there, DC there waiting on Armstead.
But how about the first down play? Taking a shot, that double move.
I love it.
Both these teams out here kind of throwing haymakers, and that's incomplete. It went past the intended receiver, freshman Sean Ryan, and it hit the official. I think that hit our umpire, William Thomas.
You got to be able to shift gears as a quarterback, and by that, I mean there's different velocities in which you throw the football. This one doesn't need to be shot in there like it's shot out of a cannon. Just put it on him where he can manage it crossing. You know how hard that is when you're about 5 yards away trying to catch one coming that hard? Very few guys on any level can manage and reel that in.
Michael Walker lets that bounce. Takes a little bit of a Temple roll, but be down at the 37. A 40-yard punt. Coming back out, that Boston College offense.
Scott Loeffler compared AJ Dillon, one of his teammates, Tyrone Wheatley, big back with power that can absolutely run. Wheatley was a track athlete. This guy here has got some wheels as well, and everybody around this program says just how much of a good teammate he is.
Dillon had 59 rush yards last week at Purdue. He's equaled that and now surpasses that with a couple-yard run up to the 39.
Had a rough week last week, though. Carried the ball 19 times, only 59 yards. This is production the last 11 games.
It has jumped. He set the Boston College freshman rushing record last year. Brown with time to throw comes near side to Jeff Smith. Momentarily broke the tackle of Todd Jones, but stumbles down right near the marker at the 47.
We talked to Scott Loeffler, their offensive coordinator, and said he was just not going through his progressions last week. He was, instead of going 1, 2 to 3, he was just going straight to 3. There, he actually went through the progression and found a receiver for the first down. That was excellent quarterback play on the part of Anthony Brown to see it develop, 2 deep routes, and then now check it down to my outlet to get us close to a first down, and then of course there converting on a quarterback sneak.
First down right at midfield for the Eagles. Smith comes in motion. Brown across the middle. Kobe White tugged down at the 42 for an 8-yard gain on first down.
Yeah, the initial target And the first player in the progression was Jeff Smith on a deeper route. And he decides to check it down to Kobe White. He's going through those progressions today.
Dillon. With the forward progress, will be really close to the first down. Maybe the length of the football is short. Yeah, he's got a decent spot there.
Right back with pace comes Boston College, applying the pressure with AJ Dillon.
It is 3rd and short. Brown trying to sneak once again, just push it and push it. And the pile was slowly moving forward from a Boston College perspective, enough for the first down.
Well, they have their hands full defensively because they've tried to play it with, they started the game with maybe 6 in the box, then they added another player. The last couple of snaps, it's been 8 in the box with man-to-man across the board, and they still can't get a handle on AJ Dillon.
Brown again looking deep, it throws underneath and batted away, incomplete by Benny Walls. I think that first read he was looking deep for White. But a nice play there by Wells. An experienced offensive line.
Yeah, led by Chris Lindstrom, who's the team's MVP to this portion of the season, according to Steve Adazio.
Dillon. 34-yard line, runs for about 5.
And it's a big, as you mentioned, big offensive line with a ton of experience. They have kind of a competition to see who can get the most knockdown blocks each and every week. So some big road graders up there that pave the way for AJ Dillon.
BC 5 is 6 on 3rd down today. Brown slips and falls, and he loses yardage back at the 41.
Well, this makes it decision time for Steve Adazio, because you go from 3rd and medium to now 3rd and long with a slip, 3rd and about 11 or 12.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th down when we come back after that loss of 7. We play 1 quarter at BC, and the Eagles trail Temple 14-13. And on this Saturday, we begin the 2nd quarter. Temple leading Boston College 14-13.
Is it football weather today or what?
It is beautiful. ESPN College Football presented by Edward Jones. Steve Adazio is going to punt for the first time.
I'm surprised with this. Maybe we alert for a fake. But I think the slip by Anthony Brown may have been the reason for this one. I would not put it past him to run a fake here.
Well, had he just thrown an incompletion or whatever, it would have been a 4th and 4.
It would have definitely gone for it.
Isaiah Wright going to let that bounce near the 10 and go out of bounds. Back to the studio for another update from Chris Cotter.
Right, guys, things are totally getting out of hand in Tuscaloosa. Alabama already up 28-0. Jalen Hurts in the game. Finds Henry Ruggs III. Splits through 3 defenders. 35-0 right now on the SEC network. Alabama's all over Louisiana.
Guess we're not surprised it's gotten out of hand.
Yeah, no, not at all. And I got to ask for forgiveness from Cotter today. I did not get up and get a workout in, my man.
Cotter, I did, though, man. So it's
good stuff.
Hey, this is Tyleek Rayner, a redshirt sophomore, getting the carry. His first young man that they're high on. Been injured last year. He got a quick carry on 1st down, so 2nd down and 8. Russo under pressure threads the needle with a nice catch there at the 28 by Brandon Mack. And a 1st down Owls.
The second big catch that Brandon Mack has made. This is just a simple in route and hits him right out of the break. He's got that big body that we talked about earlier. 6'5", 215 pounds. Just put it in the area.
Russo had thrown 6 consecutive incomplete passes before that catch there by Mack. Throws again. Another nice catch right hanging on. And there
will be a targeting here. And
that's on 21 Lucas Dennis, and Wright slow getting up.
Defense, number 21, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. The ruling on the field of targeting is under further review.
There's another player that just went down for Temple. Or is that right that tried to get up?
Yeah, I think that is right.
And then went back down. Yeah, it's almost, this was close to a launch. Oh, there's no doubt. He's going to, Dennis is going to the sideline. They go in the locker room and won't be available until next week. When you leave your feet and launch and you make contact high, that is what the rule was put in place to avoid.
As Andre was mentioning, if it holds targeting, he's out the rest of this game, but Dennis would be available to come back for the beginning of their game at North Carolina State next week.
The ruling on the field of targeting is confirmed. Boston College number 21 is disqualified.
So that takes away the starting free safety, Luke Dennis, guy who was all ACC second team last year. And now Mike Palmer, redshirt sophomore, is going to step into that spot. Dennis is through for the day with the targeting call.
Palmer plays a lot on special teams. Coach Adazio, who's involved in that a great deal, loves Mike Palmer in that role. You have to step up now at safety.
Armstead slipped a little bit, but stayed on his feet, coming back the other way. Kind of slips again, but does, through all that running, pick up, what, 3 yards? 4 yards?
Does he run hard or what? I mean, my goodness, it's impressive. Both he and Dillon.
He runs so hard, the artificial turf can't handle him sometimes.
Can't hold him. The blitz coming.
Russo stands in, but then he gets hit as he throws, and incomplete. Pressure from Zach Allen.
Sure, the defender, but Boston College and Jim Reed, the defensive coordinator. Boy, we had a great, and I mean great, visit with Jim Reed yesterday, and he decides to heat up Anthony Russo a little bit. He's completed a couple in a row now and maybe trying to get comfortable. They heat him up and speed up the process and see if he can still continue to play at a high level.
3rd and 7. Isaiah Wright has stayed in the game. That's him in motion. Looking at his direction. Wright turns and a little behind him. And incomplete. 4th down.
Well, he had Ventel Bryant wide open on the outside, and he's running down the field with his hand wide open at the top of the screen. And Russo, just from his body language, I'm a big body language guy when it comes to quarterbacks. His footwork, everything about him is just sped up. He has not settled in to the football game yet. He's hit some nice throws, but the consistency for 60 minutes is just not there.
Redshirt freshman Connor Bowler trying to pin in Boston College, but it drops in the end zone for the touchback. 2 minutes gone here in the second quarter from Chestnut Hill. Temple will have the ball back and a 1-point lead when we come back. Boston College take over at their own 20. Just a couple minutes gone here in the second quarter.
2 legitimate Heisman candidates going at it tonight in that ball game with Ohio State. Both quarterbacks playing some outstanding football.
AJ Dillon, 15 rushes, 67 yards, averaging 4.5 yards per carry. Fake the handoff to him. Brown rolling out and throwing on the move. A catch near the sideline.
Gonna rule him out of bounds, and kind of slow to get up is C.J. Lewis. Big receiver, good looking player. And that is exactly what you want when you're chiseling out a receiver. 6'4", 210, good hands, excellent coverage.
Dillon going to the boundary side, not much there. Rock Yasin and others.
I tell you what, I turned the film on and I'm watching him. I talked to some scouts this week about him, and was just thoroughly impressed. Great instincts, excellent coverage ability, and then he is a more than willing tackler who just brought down big AJ Dillon. Impressive player that is definitely going to play on the next level.
1 for 2 on 3rd and long today, and a 3rd and 10 for Boston College. Brown incomplete, could have been picked off, and then a little friendly fire. Delvon Randall ran into his own guy, Linwood Crump.
He and Crump actually pinned the receiver to the sideline, which kind of allowed Delvon Randall to have the interception that was overturned. And then the two of them again working together. That time they run into one another. Randall thought he had himself a legitimate interception there.
Well, he probably thinks he had a legitimate interception on the first one, but got overturned.
No doubt about it.
Isaiah Wright back to receive this punt. Temple with a chance for some pretty good field position. Short punt lands at the 45. It takes a nice punt. BC roll. That really turns into a good punt for the Eagles. That is a 49.
Trying to spread out BC and create some running room for Armstead.
Russo hands off Armstead. Nice run on first down of close to 8. What do you think of Russo so far today?
Well, I think he's 5 of 13 for 66 yards, but the body language, just the footwork, drilling guys that's about 5 yards away. He's playing fast when there's no pass rush. So he needs to just kind of settle himself in and just relax a little bit more. He's still going. We're a quarter into this thing, or over a quarter into it, and he's still
5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
He looks like a player that just started the game. You know, you have the adrenaline rush, and then eventually the first completion, or you get tackled, you kind of settle in a lot. Everything's being thrown hard, everything's coming out fast, and then the footwork he's just not relaxed enough.
A penalty on Temple, their 7th. That's the most they've had in a game this year, and we're still early in the 2nd quarter.
A lot of football to play.
Russo fires far side. Mack quickly wrapped up, tackled at the 37.
I like that one. Quick hitch and catching it from the shotgun, so you don't know if he's really getting the laces or not, but he spun that one out there to get him back in a manageable situation here on 3rd down and 4. Maybe dial up Armstead here.
Fires to the 41, and that is right. He should have the first down with that forward momentum. Yep, that's going to be a first down for Temple.
Boy, he is some athlete, isn't he?
Special.
They talked about him all week long and how they had to get him the football. He is a playmaker who can just flat out beat you. And now we know why they were pushing to get him more touches.
Remember, he took the shot from Luke Dennis that took Dennis out of the game for targeting.
Showing some toughness there. Coming right back into the game.
Russo. Incomplete. Looking for Randall Jones.
That's one that should have been caught. That was an excellent pass. It's out in front. They give him an opportunity to run with the football after the catch. That's one Randall Jones is just going to have to hold on to. Got to make that catch. As it goes back to the situation again where you get nothing on first down. Wouldn't surprise me if Armstead, they're going to move him out. No, uncovered.
Russo. A screen to Bryant. That kind of looked strange. They hit a couple of guys, Temple receivers in that area. That's going to lose 3 yards.
It actually looked like it was intended to be a screen to Armstead, who was uncovered as he motioned out, and then Bryant circled back for the tunnel screen and just kind of plucked it out of the air.
The play selection here. The Owls have 99 rush yards, but they have been much more pass than run. So on 3rd down and long, that's snatched right near the marker by Isaiah Wright. The spot is huge, and the spot he's getting looks like it's a good one for Temple and a first down.
He's got it. Well, he's been targeted, and there's been some huge plays, or he's come up in a very big way for the Temple Owls to move the chains. This job here, just a nice little sit down and zone coverage. And how about the presence in mind to get to the first down marker before you pull your route up? That's good work.
Todd Centeio in his quarterback, and he hands off to Jaden Blue on the jet sweep. Blue's momentum gets him to about the 42 of Boston College. Picks up close to 7.
They've done a nice job in terms of, going to the body, and then all of a sudden they're going upstairs, where you're running the football between the tackles, and then all of a sudden you want to hit the edges of the defense. Draw them in, and then hit the edges. It's a good job of play calling.
This is Centeio. He throws. Caught by Jaden Blue. First down, Temple at the BC 36.
Jaden Blue with a big catch there, but Centeio is a solid athlete who actually starts on their punt team and then plays at quarterback. He's thrown a touchdown pass this year, but they love his athletic ability.
Blue hit hard at the 31.
What a form tackle there. Woo.
Zach Allen showing you how it's done.
You could hear the pads come together way up here in the press box.
So a couple of snaps at quarterback for Todd Centeio. Russo has returned. Armstead. Before that handoff, I was thinking to myself, Andre, Armstead's probably feeling a little neglected here.
Yeah, go ahead and feed him. He's getting a little hungry. He had breakfast, and now it's lunchtime. And the stomach's growling a little bit. We're going to feed him again.
Armstead to the 21, first down, wrapped up by Max Richardson, the linebacker, 6-yard gain.
Well, just the play calling in this drive. Dave Patenaude, he's done a heck of a job moving players and spreading it around.
Russo for Bryant, trying to adjust, made the catch. Did he? A flag down. What a catch. Vintel Bryant, first and goal, Temple.
We talked about the big-bodied receivers on the outside and how you construct this offense. Big guys on the outside, quickness in the slot positions, and then one heck of a player at running back in Armstead.
Pass interference. Defense number 10. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is the first down.
But you got 6'5" on one side and Mack, and then Bryant at 6'3", and that's going to be on everybody's highlight package tonight.
Got it. Armstead. Touchdown, Temple. We had a 75-yard touchdown run earlier in the game for Rock Armstead.
You know what, Mark? I'll say Russo has settled in. A couple of nice pass completions. He comes back in the game for Centeio. Throws this nice strike out to Bryant, and then it's capped by that young man, Armstead.
Point after makes it 21-13. Good drive for Russo, good drive for Armstead, and Temple leading with 6:46 to play in the first half. Coming up tonight on ABC, it's whiteout conditions. Top 10 matchup. Number 4 Ohio State battling number 9 Penn State at Beaver Stadium. 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, 4:30 out on the West Coast. Also watch it live on the ESPN app. Saturday Night Football presented by Wells Fargo. Still a one-score game,
yeah.
But still early in this game, Andre. But you kind of get the feeling like BC's got to kick it into gear offensively. And so to me, that's Dillon.
What do you do when you need to get yourself jump-started? You go back to your horse. You get the horse out of the stable and you let him run, and that is AJ Dillon, and look for a lot of AJ Dillon this drive.
Walker will return it from the goal line. Flipped down at about the 21-yard line. Let's look at the two running backs on each side. Armstead, who has a couple of touchdown runs, and Dillon. For Armstead, obviously what skews that, he had the 75-yard touchdown run in the first quarter, so averaging over 12 a carry.
But I mean, he's put in some work, but right now it's time to maybe even it up a little bit and go, like I said, go to your horse. AJ Dillon needs to carry the load. You get the offensive line involved, and they've gone right back to that tight formation that they started the game in when they had him coming downhill.
Predictably, Dillon. You know, we talked earlier, Andre, about these two backs, both great, both very cognizant of the other, and it seems like the ball, so to speak, is back in the court of Dillon and BC here.
I think we knew a lot about A.J. Dillon. Quell Armstead has arrived on everybody's scene.
There's Brown, juggled incomplete. That was right at the marker.
He is very lucky.
That's a Dreezy. Rob Dreezy, the tight end.
That LaRoche didn't catch the ball that pinged off his pads.
Dreezy has 3 catches this year. Couldn't haul in number 4, and like you say, they're fortunate that didn't go the other way. 3rd and 6. It's a big play right here.
Huge play.
And Brown can't convert. The throw is too wide and incomplete, looking for Kobe White, and this is a quick 3 and out.
Yeah, and there's no way you even entertain the thought of going for it here. Got to punt it away to a hot team. And that last drive, Anthony Russo finished at 5 of 6, 45 yards. He had the big pass down near the goal line to Bryant. And of course, Armstead finished it off, but with any type of return by Wright, the excellent field position here for Temple to start this drive.
2 straight 3 and outs for the BC offense. They've not converted on their last 3 third down attempts now.
Oh, what a punt.
Had a terrific punt. Isaiah Wright chasing it back near the sideline. But Grant Carlson's been a plus from the punting side for Boston College today. Bill putting the onus on the BC defense to get a stop, because it's a Temple offense that's been finding its rhythm, including Russo, the quarterback, and he throws a strike to the sideline. Caught. He is out of bounds. Stepped out Sean Ryan. Gain of 11, first down. Seems like Russo's been able to kind of, what's the best way to describe it? I mean, slow it down, lower his heart rate?
Yes, he has settled in a little bit. Sometimes you have a little bit too much adrenaline. You know it's a big game. It's on the road. You know, you played well, or the team has the last 2 weeks. You start to feel that a little bit, and now he's settled in.
Russo. Anderson. He dumped it down to the back, and Armstead, that is, with the run all the way up near the sticks. That should be a first down.
Yeah, I like what Russo's doing. Completing the last 2 to the true freshman, Sean Ryan. Nothing's there. Don't force it. Get your team in trouble. Put us in a bad situation. Check it down. Give it to Armstead in space. They are cooking offensively.
Russo deflected, picked off. Camp Cheevers. Well, just as we talk about it, things go awry. Wasn't a bad pass.
No, it was actually an excellent throw, because it's 1, 2, 3. The ball comes out. You just got to catch the football, and you catch it with your hands. That one should have been caught, and it's not turned over. That's on the receiver.
Off the hands of Freddie Johnson and picked off.
Redshirt sophomore has got to come up with that one. That was a huge drive, a statement drive. And how about a statement by BC with a turnover with excellent field position to get themselves right back in this ball game.
3rd pick of the year for BC's Hamp Cheevers. First down from the 45. Want to take a shot after the turnover, going in the direction of White. He's offline and well covered.
I can just about guarantee you here that A.J. Dillon's going to carry the football, because BC is a schedule offense. And by that, I mean they strive to get to 3rd, medium, or short, and then go for it, especially around midfield.
Right to Dillon. A run of about 4 to the 48.
They're just trying to get back on schedule. And I wouldn't be surprised if they pumped it to him one more time, because then it gets you to 4th and short and you're across the 50-yard line, and it's he's going to go for it. That's 4-down territory for Steve Adazio.
Dillon running left, cuts it up, got a first down and a lot more, and it's a race to the end zone. Dillon. These two great backs going right at one another. What a run, 52 yards. AJ Dillon, just what Boston College needed.
You knew it was coming. They're messing around with the passing game a little bit. This is what you do best. You run block, and you got a guy that can certainly carry the load. Chris Garrison, the tight end, with an excellent block to free up AJ Dillon. And all he does is house that baby. 19 carries now, 126 yards, and of course that touchdown for AJ Dillon.
Now the offense on the field going for 2. Travis Levy is the back, not Dillon. They missed an extra point on their last touchdown, trying to tie it up here. Into the end zone, got it, 2-point conversion, and we're tied up at 21. That's Tommy Sweeney.
We start talking about big plays in a game, and not one, affects the outcome, or should, but that drop pass or that ricochet pass off the hands of Freddie Johnson was huge. On the move, great field position. You turn it over, and what does BC do? They turn around, they give it to their horse, AJ Dillon, and he gets it into the end zone. We're tied up.
Was going to march down the field, score again.
They had started the car, and the foot was on the gas pedal.
Knight's going to take it out from a couple yards deep. A spin up to the 26-yard line. 26-yard return. How about the two backs? This is a heavyweight bout today.
What a day. You look at rushes for Armstead, 9 carries, 111 yards, and then they woke up AJ Dillon, 126 yards, and he's got a touchdown, a pair by Armstead. It has been as good as advertised. We talked about it from the top of the show, that this was what it was going to be all about, and they have not disappointed.
All right, let's see how Russo responds. That turnover, the interception, was not his fault at all. It was a well-thrown ball.
No, and to your point, he was 7 of his last 8 prior to that interception, so he had started to really deal the football. I thought at that time, the way Temple was going about things offensively, they were getting ready to mash the gas, and unfortunately the ball comes off Freddie Johnson's hands and into the arms of a BC defender, Ham Cheevers, and that set up the big run from AJ Dillon to tie this baby up.
Russo is picked again. This one was not a great throw, and Tajamir Torres hit hard and down inside the 10. Well, that was what I was wondering. Was he going to let that pick affect him? That one, not a great throw.
Well, and it shouldn't, because the first pick was not his fault. This one, the eyes. Watch the eyes of the quarterback. He stares it down and still goes there. And in zone coverage, you stare it down, guys are going to make you pay. Tajamir Torres makes him pay, and BC set up at the about the 9-yard line of Temple with AJ Dillon back in the ball game.
First pick of the year for Tajamir Torres. You're going to look for targeting again here. This is what they're reviewing.
This is why you love football, because it can turn on a dime. All you got to do is just keep playing. Just keep playing. It looked as though Temple's getting ready to run BC out of the building. An interception happens, AJ Dillon scored. 2-point conversion, we're tied. All of a sudden, another interception by Torres.
Ooh, we might have targeting.
And we just might have targeting on the big tight end.
Chris Myrick did seem, lowered his helmet, the crown of the helmet.
And he is a big part, Mark, of their running game. physical run blocker. Kind of a blue-collar tight end type. Solid in the running game for Temple. That would be a big loss for the Owls offensively.
Myrick, who's a 6'4" grad student, guy who was awarded a scholarship at halftime of the 2017 Temple spring game.
Yeah.
Well, Boston College has lost a player due to targeting in this first half. Free safety starter there, Lucas Dennis.
It's kind of a lesson for all young players. I mean, you can get down about things that happen in a football game, but there are peaks and valleys along the way, and you just got to ride the wave until it happens for you.
After the interception and during the return, Temple number 85 lowered his head and made contact against an opponent with the crown of the helmet, which is a personal foul for targeting. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down. Temple number 85 is disqualified. Boston College number 24 may remain in the game because his helmet came off due to foul.
So Myrick is out. He comes with 3:31 left in the half, which means that he will be able to play the beginning of the next game.
Well, it's a second ejection because of targeting Lucas Dennis for Boston College, and now the tight end, Chris Myrick, is out of the ball game.
And a first and goal after the turnover in the return. And here's Dillon. Down inside the 2. Tackled by Sean Bradley.
What power he runs with, and he runs with great body lean. He's built so big at the bottom, you know, in his leg, in the lower area of his legs, the thighs. It's hard to bring him down. Then all of a sudden you get the body lean. Makes it almost impossible to tackle him one-on-one.
Give it right back to Dillon, who's in the end zone. Touchdown, Boston College. Man, how this game has changed just in the last couple of minutes off the clock. A couple of touchdown swing, and Boston College has taken the lead with under 3 minutes to go in the first half.
Rob Badruzzi, along with Ray Martin and the other tight end. Great blocks up front for AJ Dillon.
Longman for the point after, and that is good. So they bring in the freshman Danny Longman to attempt the point after. First time for him this year to attempt one, and he knocks it through to make it 28-21. And Dillon now with a couple of touchdown runs, and they've come in quick fashion.
All you do is breathe a little life into an opponent like BC, and they've got a weapon right there in number 2. He's a special player.
How about those numbers for not even a half of football?
You know, we talk about, you know, everybody knowing AJ Dillon. Not a lot of people around the country. You know, a couple of running backs around the country because they're getting Heisman hype. He's certainly starting to get whispers and get into that conversation. I know him very well now. I know a lot of NFL scouts know him as well. A few in the building today. Saw a comment when I went down to grab something to eat, and running into all kind of scouts today here to take a look at a bunch of players on both sides of the field.
Well, most of us can only talk about who you'd give a Heisman vote to. You actually have one since you're in that club. There's Freddie Johnson. Gave up ground. And is tackled back at the 15.
And a young player has got to realize when enough is enough.
Hey, kick off your Week 4 NFL Sunday with ESPN at 10 a.m. Eastern. Sam and the guys, the entire Sunday NFL Countdown crew, have all the early breaking stories, the injury updates, and they preview each game right up to kickoff. And like everything else, it's also live on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. On your way to the game, at the game.
And Temple with a couple of timeouts left to put together maybe a drive here.
Russo can't get it over the arms of Zach Allen.
He is some player. I mean, he is what you want in your program. A senior that just does it the right way. Yeah, off the edge, nice player, number 2. You see him working against Adam Klein, a true freshman, and at least get a piece of him to slow him down where he doesn't get in the quarterback's face quite as quickly as he did.
Russo hands off. This is Rich Ravato, Rich Ravato, 5th-year senior. And timeout is called by Boston College. Stopping it with 2:39 to go in the half. Hey, this season, for every field goal and an extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you, Allstate. Well, it wasn't long ago, Andre, that Temple had momentum. Looked like they were driving to take a 2-score lead.
Yeah.
Now, can they get up off the mat or at least do something before the half ends?
This kind of lets you know a little bit about your team and the fight that they have. And according to Jeff Collins, you know, the last couple of weeks, they've been in some battles, have gone toe-to-toe, and they've won ball games. I don't think there's any quitting the Owls.
Boston College will get the ball to start the second half. A pass off the hands of Bryant, and Temple is fortunate that one wasn't picked off.
They're just throwing it a little bit too hard, and then the footwork has gone right back to where it was. He's uncomfortable, but that 8 to 10 yard range, the ball is just coming way too hard for receivers to handle. I mean, you've got to throw a nice catchable ball sometimes where a receiver can catch it on the move, and at that point it was going to be a catch and run for the first down. Just make sure they catch it, and you can help that as a quarterback.
Counter bowler, end over end, caught in stride. Michael Walker cuts to the outside, and then a nice open field tackle inside the 35 by Todd Jones. Hey, let's take a look at today's mayhem moment brought to you by Allstate. And Andre, it's been the turnovers turned into points.
Yeah, tipped pass here by a young receiver. And Freddie Jones leads to this. An AJ Dillon touchdown run. They come back with a 2-point conversion to tie it up. Russo stares it down. Torres makes him pay. And then AJ Dillon once again to put BC up 28-21.
So BC with 2 timeouts and 2:26 on the clock from the 35 at Temple. Guess who? Dillon stumbling. Gains about 5 up to the 30. If you're the Eagles, Andre, you got to be thinking, hey, if we find the end zone again, we're going to get the ball back to start the second half.
Yeah. And this is bonus money right here. You're playing with house money. So you want to basically any score here, and they're looking to get in the end zone for sure.
Brown has to dump it off. He had to hurry that because Chappelle Russell, linebacker, pressured and was right in his face.
Hey, Russell plays fast. It's a redshirt junior, but you turn the film on and you watch number 3 as well as Bradley 5. They fly around. They don't have single digits for nothing, and that's a big tradition in this Temple program. You're rewarded with single digits, and those 2 middle linebackers wear them.
Dillon. Quincy Roche was able to chop him down. Be a 3rd and short, make that 4th and short.
They'll go right back to number 2. Give it to Dillon. Don't mess around with it. Get the offensive line right behind big Chris Lindstrom. Let him go to work up front.
They converted their only 4th down try today. This is a 4th and 2. The 27 of the Owls, and Brown rolling out.
Got it.
I'm not sure about the play call, but it works. And Tommy Sweeney got enough for the first down, and they convert.
Well, he is playing some good football. A complete tight end. It's an excellent blocker. Solid hands. Good route runner. And watch the hands here where he snags it out of the air, turns, and then presence in mind to know exactly where the first down marker is.
We know how good the hands are for Tommy Sweeney because he had a great catch earlier in this game. And, well, as I say that,
well, there's a lot of
action around him, though.
Yeah, a lot of factors in that incompletion.
Sean Bradley knocking it out.
The route was great, showing the quarterback the numbers, but he had about 2 or 3 players right in the area trying to fight for the football as well.
That incompletion stopped it with 57 seconds left. Lines, flag comes out.
Maybe a hold. We'll bring this one back.
If it gets to a possible field goal try, this might be a spot at the end of a half.
Number 92, 10-yard penalty.
Oh, wow.
Results in a first down.
You talk about momentum swinging the other way after that the first interception. I mean, it has gone the way of Boston College ever since that play. I mean, they have been, everything has fallen into place. They got AJ Dillon going. The offensive line is hot. Sweeney's catching just about everything.
And BC not thinking field goal. They're thinking end zone, and Dillon, with Sean Bradley and Sam Franklin, bring him down for a loss of a yard.
Well, that's an excellent job of team tackling, because that's what it takes to bring down the 6 foot, 245-pound sophomore AJ Dillon. You got to get a lot of bodies around that young man to bring him down.
So a BC timeout, they winner here in Boston.
You're going to be a physical football team when you play for that man. Up front, good offensive linemen. They continue to produce them each and every year.
Got a Dreezy in the backfield with Dillon. Dillon trying to find a little hole, but man, just keeps the feet moving. Gets inside the 10 to the 9.
Wow.
This play looked like it was over a couple of different times,
yeah,
but it turns into a 4-yard gain.
He saw a cut out the back door, or out the front door rather, and tried to make the cut, and then by the time he planted the foot, it had closed up, so he got right back vertical. Some vision.
25 carries now here in the first half so far for AJ Dillon.
You're going to have games like that where you're playing a tough opponent. It's a tough football game. You got to rely on your best player, and obviously AJ Dillon is that. He may be upwards of 30+ carries before the game's over. Career high is 39, so you're not afraid to give him the football. No timeouts left for Boston College, so this will be a shot to the end zone.
3rd and 7. Brown to the end zone, and Dreezy spinning around. Incomplete.
Now,
well, I was mentioning, if you're going to attempt a field, and they haven't attempted one all year, BC.
there's the first one coming now. And
You're
it's
at the end of a half.
Going to be Danny Logan. Excuse me, Longman.
Yeah, Longman, the freshman who had the point after in their last touchdown. Has been handling their kickoff. Strong leg. It's a 26-yard attempt just inside the right hash. Out of the hole to Jeff Smith. Hey, in Boston College, their first field goal attempt of the season, and it's successful for freshman Danny Longman.
That looked pretty good.
And it's a 10-point lead for Boston College with 20 seconds left in the half.
Now, if you're Jeff Collins, you just want to get to the locker room. Get on a knee. Let's go in, talk about it. We made some mistakes. We had the game where it was in our favor, and we made some mistakes. Let's go out and play a solid second half.
Well, usually a field goal in week 5 isn't a big deal, but it is when it's your first field goal attempt of the year and the first one in the career of Danny Longman.
True freshman, kind of fired up. Miami Shores, Florida.
So when Temple does get to the locker room here, Andre, do you address, hey, what happened the last 7-8 minutes of this second quarter? Because the game just turned on a dime after that one turnover.
Well, you address the mistakes, but not
Nobody touched it. It rolls out of bounds. It's going to come out to the 35.
Luckily, no one touched it.
I don't think anybody touched it. I think the officials are converging to make sure, hey, did anybody touch that?
But I don't think you go in and say, hey, we tipped an interception and that swung it in our face. Hey, we made some mistakes. Let's just go out, put plays together, play solid on defense, put plays together on offense, execute on special teams. Let's get back in this game.
The ruling on the field is that the ball was touched in the field of play. Receiving team will be first down at the out-of-bounds spot.
All right, so it won't be a penalty. No, he didn't touch it. Or did Wright touch it? I don't think Wright touched it either.
Either one of them. They attempted to touch it, but both missed. Now you definitely get on a knee and get to the locker room.
Well, but they're going to review this, and it might come out to the 35, and they might. All we probably are determining here is where they take a knee from.
Yeah.
To end the half. Yeah, I don't think it touched a Temple player. They tried to touch it a few times.
Yeah. They attempted to touch it. There's no doubt about it, but I think both missed.
So they review this with just 15 seconds to go in the half. And whether this ball comes out to the 35 with the review overturning the call on the field, or if it's at the 9, we expect Temple just to take a knee and end this first half.
That's their best bet.
Standing by for the Mountain Dew Ice halftime report.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It'll be Temple's ball at the 8-yard line, first down.
Wasn't confirmed. It stands.
Yeah, you don't want to add insult to injury here. Let's just get to the locker room. No timeouts. BC couldn't stop it. If they had timeouts with this type of field position, I think they would call them. But
well, earlier in this second quarter, Boston College was down 21-13, and Temple looked like they were driving to take a 2-score lead. Pass completion attempt went off Johnson's fingers, intercepted, and from that point, the game changed. And it's a 10-point lead for BC, who will get the ball to begin the second half. It's been a fun game here so far in Chestnut Hill. At the intermission, 31-21 BC.
This halftime report is brought to you by Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
ball game, Boston College leading the way, and we should have some second half.
Boston College will get the ball to start the second half. They've scored the game's last 18 points.
We talked about it at the top of the show. These two talented running backs, Armstead and Dillon, and they have not disappointed.
Redshirt freshman Will Mobley kicks it away, and off we go into half number 2 from Chestnut Hill. And taken from the 6 by Walker. Good head of steam across the 30. Brought down at about the 33. What do the numbers say about the first half?
Well, I think the tale for Temple, the obvious 2 interceptions to go along with 9 penalties. It's never a good thing, and it makes it tough. You're on the road, you're about to kick it into overdrive, and you turn it over. And then Boston College, 4 touchdowns, a 2-point conversion, 18 unanswered points to take the lead in this ball game, 31-21.
And the 9 Temple penalties, most they've had in a game this year. And we're just starting the second half. Well, we pick up where we left off with AJ Dillon.
Yeah, what do you do when you get the lead and Anthony Brown's kind of gone cold? He's 1 of 9 in his last 9 passes, but AJ Dillon hadn't gone cold.
Dillon, stiff arm, throws a couple of defenders out of the way, and has a first down at the 48. Man, that's running angry, man.
Not 1, but 2 defenders. Linwood Crump, he gets involved in it, and I think Sam Franklin is going to be the second guy that goes down. That's power.
That's just the definition of get out of my way.
Yes. I own the field right now. Get out of my way.
Well, the flags are back. That's
Ball start.
go against
Offense, number
Sweeney.
89. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Big Tommy Sweeney.
27 carries. What did we say? 39?
39 is his
high?
career high. He may top that. You get the lead and you just want to work some clock a little bit. He's the best option to do that with.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over on that 39 today. We'll see how it plays out, though. Not a whole lot there.
Well, he took a shot, though.
He's slow getting up.
Slow to get up. He took a huge shot. He's reaching down around the ankle injury, and that was Sean Bradley that came up and delivered the blow.
Not what you want to see.
No way. I mean, the air in this entire stadium and press box up here as included just went out. Looks like he was rolled up. Someone rolled up on the back of his ankle.
I think Dogby, number 9, did.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. He's being blocked, and Dogby falls on the back of the left ankle of AJ Dillon.
And they're going to help him to his feet, but
He's sitting up now, and hopefully he's okay.
wasn't putting a lot of weight at first on that left ankle, but seems to be walking a little better as he gets to the sideline. So that's a huge story now in this game. Will we see AJ Dillon once again? So Ben Glines in there now at the back for Boston College. And Brown wants to put it in the air, does so too high for Sweeney at midfield.
Boy, this changes the dynamic of this BC offense tremendously. They are a run first with AJ Dillon, play action, then they can move Anthony Brown around. But if you are going to solely ride the arm of Anthony Brown to try to hold on to this lead, it's going to be tough.
BC fans like seeing that right now with Dillon moving around on the sideline. Quick out to White.
Nice move.
Makes one to the edge. It's a decent block across midfield. 49 at Temple, stopped by Rock Ya-Sin, an 8-yard run.
Not going to take any chances.
Now White's down.
Oh boy. Kobe White has had a couple of big catches in this game.
He's not putting any weight on his left ankle, not much.
I admire the courage. Just that scene right there, watching a young man get himself up off the field. My high school coach, Dub Ferris, was as tough as they came. And he would tell us, if it's not dangling, you better get off the field. And I just admire that courage. Just something that simple shows me how tough Steve Adazio's football team is.
And Temple will have it at the 39 of Boston College. Well, Carlson had been punting extremely well, but Anthony Cruz is the one that recovers it.
Boy, this has been an ebb and flow game, back and forth, momentum shifting sidelines. One that he should have handled, it just slipped out of his hands.
Wow. You know, we're not even 2 minutes into the third quarter, and the game has a totally different feel than what we were just talking about a couple minutes ago. Now Armstead with his chance to carry the ball for about 4 yards on first down.
Mark, these are really two outstanding players, Armstead and Dillon, and there was nothing. He has spun to his left and essentially picked up about 3 on his own.
They got the left shoe off of Dillon. I'm looking down there. I think they're going to retape him up. Bounced around and tipped away incomplete as Russo was trying to deliver that and got knocked out of his hand. That, I believe, is a forward. They're ruling it a forward pass.
No, they're going to rule it a fumble.
Well, I'm sure this is going to go to review. Number 48, Tanner Carafa, coming up with it.
Very underrated player that just kind of gets it done.
Yeah, that looks like a forward pass to me at first look.
Actually, I think it's,
well, from that side, not so much.
That's Zach Allen that
Yep.
just keeps coming.
From the front side, I thought pass attempt. From the backside, I thought fumble.
I think he got his hand on the ball before Russo actually started forward.
Oh, this should be a good angle. That's a great look.
That's a great look. It's just how it's interpreted by the replay officials. That was tough to call.
What's your interpretation?
Well, you know, the quarterback in me says he was throwing, you know, it's coming forward. But that is extremely close. Would not surprise me if this was confirmed.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down, Boston College.
The replay official, Rusty Ackery.
Back and forth.
He's been at some day, and back and forth we go, no doubt.
You're talking about an NFL caliber player and Zach Allen working against Adam Klein, a true freshman right tackle, and he is eating him up on a couple of occasions.
AJ Dillon getting his left ankle retaped right now. So a carry for Ben Glines to the 39. Close to 5 on first down. Stopped by Delvon Randall. Ben Glines, a very versatile player. Do a lot of different things. Big body, 6'2", 220 pounds. Give it back to Glines. Drives down at the 42.
Well, what Temple's going to do now with AJ Dillon out of the ball game, they were already crowding the line of scrimmage with 7 and 8 in the box. They are definitely going to do that. Show Anthony Brown some pressure, play man to man, and force him to win in the passing game. Here they come with the pressure.
Brown slings it, caught on the run. Walker,
that is
first down.
That's a great throw, Mark. Right in stride, hit Walker right on the money.
It's his best throw of the day, I think.
I agree with you. And a throw that he had to have at this point in the ball game.
So first down at their own 49.
Changing the play and has a lot of flexibility to do this.
Straight ahead Glines. Slung down by William Quinku.
Lines protecting the football. It's a hybrid type that can play slot receiver. They play him there, and as well, they'll line him up and you see him carry the football at running back.
Brown pressured. Escapes. Uses his legs and finds the open man at the 30-yard line. A 16-yard gain, and Adreese, the tight end, was there.
Anthony Brown showing you some lower body strength, but this is just a little magic to go along with it. Making a guy miss and then completing the pass down the field.
Glines to the 27 for a couple of yards. And I've been watching AJ Dillon on the sideline. They've got the left ankle retaped. I can't speak with total authority. He's got to look like he's coming back in this football game sooner rather than later. Brown with time underneath. Oh, and Walker got absolutely lit up and hangs on to it. The flag comes out there. They're going to look for targeting here. on Jaquise Thomas, the safety for Temple.
What a violent play.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 28. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down. Targeting is under further review.
Now, from that first look, I saw a lot of shoulder.
Yeah, and he's trying to go low, but you know, around the chest area of the receiver Walker.
Tough from that angle. We kind of got screened.
Didn't launch.
Well, just from the couple looks we've seen, Andre, I'm leaning towards it not being targeted. But
I'm with you. I'm with you.
That's just a hard football hit right there.
Good, hard, tough football play. Tell you what, my teeth are hurting up here every time I watch it. I think they've got to overturn this.
I think Thomas did everything he could correctly from a tackling standpoint.
Yeah. And he didn't go through Walker.
No, he did not.
He actually tried to pull up.
So from what we've seen, looks like this should be overruled by replay and keep Thomas in the game.
It's just such a bang-bang play. You got one player making a play on him as he's crossing, and then, of course, Thomas finishing things up. It was Russell, the linebacker, from behind, and then he doesn't see Thomas, so it turns into a big collision, but I don't think it's targeting.
Each team has already lost a player in the first half to targeting. For Boston College, it was free safety Lucas Dennis and Chris Myrick on the Temple side. I'm still not seeing targeting.
I don't either. I'm with you.
Rusty Ackrey, a replay official, continuing to take a look at it.
Yeah, and he's trying to get low.
Yeah, he dropped that right shoulder.
And find the strike zone, you know, and he's not up around the shoulder pad area or the helmet. He's trying to go low, and the receiver's just going low as well as he tried to pick, you know, he picks him up and he's trying to protect himself. You know, it just sounded.
That's the part, Andre, I was going to say. I think it's the day and age we live in when you see that kind of hit,
on the field
you throw a flag.
targeting is confirmed. Temple number 28
wow.
is
Oh,
disqualified.
my God.
I don't see that at all.
I've had a couple of disagreements with Mr. Ackrey today, and that is certainly one of them. That's unbelievable.
So Jaquise Thomas, and the call was confirmed. So what our replay official saw, he agreed with.
Unreal.
He on the field. So that adds the BC offense now. First down, just outside the 10.
To me, that last review, it seemed like you're punishing a kid for trying to do the right thing. And he was obviously trying to do the right thing.
I agree. Levy in there carrying the ball. Dillon still on the sideline after leaving with what appeared to be a left ankle injury. Oh, it has been retaped. Here's the pitch. Now the reverse, the throw, and there's the quarterback touchdown. Jeff Smith throwing the touchdown to Anthony Brown.
Keep in mind, we told you earlier in this ball game that Jeff Smith was a converted wide receiver where he played quarterback 3 years ago. Blazing speed. How about that one? Laying it in there nicely. Receiver back to the quarterback, Anthony Brown.
Anthony Brown with a touchdown reception. He's thrown 2 touchdowns today.
Scott Leffler dialing up the trickery.
Longman on for the extra point, and he knocks it through. 38-21. A little razzle-dazzle adds to the lead. From Levy to Smith to Brown. 38-21 Eagles. Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. 38-21 Boston College. Still 9:22 to play third quarter. 25 unanswered points for Boston College in this game. Freddie Johnson from the 13. Starting field position for Temple will be their own 28. We'll take a timeout. See if the Temple offense. Temple ball at their own 28. They got to get the offense going. They're down 38-21. Todd Centeo now in there at quarterback for Temple. With Wright in motion. Hand it off to Wright. It's a block from Max. Spins to the sideline, out of bounds. About a 10-yard gain. Let's take a look. What we've been told by the replay official is the reason he believes this is targeting is that the receiver is defenseless.
In zone coverage, you got a guy, if he runs out of the tackle of Russell, how defenseless is he? I just don't agree with the call.
Centeo takes it to the 42. So again, from our replay official, Rusty Ackery, he confirmed the call on the field because he says that the Walker was a defenseless receiver. But that
might have been more apt if he just, the ruling on the field stands. But to confirm it, are you kidding me? It should have been overturned, in my opinion, from the beginning. But
and it cost Jaquise Thomas not only the rest of this game, but the first half against East Carolina next week. Incomplete. Wright got a hand on it. He was right there. He might have been screened a little bit. Looks like he didn't see that pass coming until late.
We talked about a touch count for Isaiah Wright in between 10 to 12. And he's at 9 now for about 110 yards of offense, 4 catches for 42 yards of run, and then 4 returns for 71 yards. So he is right on pace.
Anthony Russo steps back into quarterback and throws on 3rd and 7, adjusting back. Nicely done. First down near the 35-yard line of Boston College. Great play by Brandon Mack.
I love the old fade stop. I mean, it is basically, you can't defend it if it's executed right, and the receiver and quarterback have the chemistry to get it done. This was just thrown right behind the helmet of the defender to that side.
25-yard gain, and that one off the hands again of Isaiah Wright. Incomplete.
Just has never settled in that 10 to 12 yard, 8 to 10 yard range where he's just throwing bullets. I mean, it's coming too fast for receivers to handle it. Just take a little bit off of it. It's got to be a catchable ball, and right now it hasn't been to this point in the game.
Armstead bouncing it out left. It's a block from Bryant and up to the 36 yards. Stopped by Will Harris.
Just a tip for fans watching the game. An incomplete pass on first down brings about a what on second down? A run. If you're trying to get back on schedule, that's what a play caller is thinking. Oh,
Armstead tackled for loss. Zach Allen.
I mean, this young man has had some ball game. Tipped pass, running down folks, and here, unblocked, he's giving Adam Klein all he can handle today, the true freshman right tackle for Temple.
You mentioned the scouts, how much they like him right now. Talking what, late first-round pick projected?
Yeah.
We'll see how it plays out. A lot of football to play this year.
Got a pretty good one on the other side, too.
Russo in the direction. Got him. kicked the pylon. Touchdown, Isaiah Wright.
Yeah, that's an excellent throw. He has no problem pushing it down the field when there's air under it. The problem comes from the 8 to 10 yard range, but when he's got receivers running down the sideline, he has been just about automatic in this instance. Isaiah Wright adjusting to the ball. How about this? Getting himself into the end zone, the presence in mind to
Ooh, did he step out right there before the goal line?
Kick the pylon. That's a good point.
They're going to look at this.
They're going to take a look at this one.
Watch his left foot right there.
Yep, it's just shy of the goal line. I think this one's going to come back to about
the half-yard line.
Half-yard line, yes, indeed.
Well, worst case scenario here for Temple is they're going to have it 1st and goal inside the 1.
Yeah, with Armstead in the backfield chopping and asking to be fed.
If it were to stand, it would be the 2nd touchdown catch of the year for Isaiah Wright, but it looks like there's enough to overturn this call.
The receiver's left foot was out of bounds with the ball at the 1/2 yard line. Ball will be spotted there. 1st down, Temple.
We got one right.
It's a heck of an effort on the part of Isaiah Wright, though, to try to make it a play where it was close to being a touchdown.
So 1st and goal inside the 1.
I'm betting number 7 gets the ball here.
Andre Ware has called the play. Oh, look who's in. Freddie Booth Lloyd, who has a touchdown run this year. They're going to give it to Armstead, trying to stretch it out, and it took some running, but he does get into the end zone for the touchdown. They brought in Freddie Booth Lloyd, one of the defensive tackles, and the big 330-pounder did help out with the block.
Yeah, they did give him the ball against Maryland, and he scored a touchdown, but they're going to use him as a lead blocker here. All 6'1", 330 pounds of him. And watch him lead the way for Raquel Armstead. And here, got to step out of a tackle and get himself into the end zone. Nice. It's a good job there by Armstead to find the corner of the end zone.
So Armstead today has touchdown runs of 75 yards and a couple of 1-yard TD runs with the help from Freddie, that last Owls TD. Hey, let's take a look at this week's college football playoff rankings, brought to you by Goodyear. No problem for the Crimson Tide right now with the Raging Cajuns.
Yeah, well, there's problems going on with Clemson.
They did score, the Tigers just did, but they're down 3.
Yeah, the Orange are, that's the thorn in their side.
AJ Dillon getting taped once again. Boston College about to get the ball back. There's still 6:31 to play in the 3rd quarter. Will Mobley's kick. Short. Glides from the 10. 25 to the 28, and here comes a flag.
Physical game. Wow.
And another flag comes out, so we're going to have a personal foul on top of whatever the first flag is for. We got a couple penalties for Adam Savoy, our white hat, to handle.
There's no foul on the play. 1st down, Boston College.
Okay. So while we have a moment, Chris Cotter.
Mark Andre, you guys were talking about this Syracuse-Clemson game. Let's show you how it got to where it is. First of all, after a turnover, Eric Dungy scores his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day, putting Syracuse up 10. But here comes Clemson right back. It's Travis Etienne shaking one tackle and then using that speed to get in. So it's still a 3-point game. Syracuse on top early 4th quarter on ABC.
CC will keep a close eye on that. It's been Glines.
And there's a big debate about Kelly Bryant and him transferring, and I was having a conversation during halftime with former college teammate Jason Phillips. about that, and he wants to see kids stay. And we'll get back into that after this.
Well, glides across midfield, and a nice run up to the 47 of Temple for 17 yards.
He feels like it's up to the coaching staff to get the kids to stay and try to, remain competitive. And lo and behold, Trevor Lawrence leaves with an injury. Kelly Bryant would have been playing again today.
Glides again.
Finds some nice soft spots behind Chris Lindstrom, the right guard. Gone there 2 times in a row, and all of a sudden Glines has found some daylight.
There's some cute confusion there for Boston College, and they're going to use a timeout. So a quick timeout as well from us with 5:35.
That is some scene when they
the whiteout.
Oh my goodness.
5:35 left, third quarter. First down. Glides has 7 carries for 47 yards since Dillon came out of the game.
It's now on the front 7 or 8 or however many you want to put in the box for Temple to stop the running game of Boston College. With AJ Dillon on the sideline, get yourself back in this game.
Brown off the hands of C.J. Lewis, incomplete. Third down coming up.
Earl Russell with excellent coverage. He came back from knee surgery, playing at a super high level defensively for Temple, and you see A.J. Dillon trying to give it a go.
Lions giving it a go in the meantime. He stopped at the 32.
That's Delvon Randall up from his safety position to make that tackle. So now it's 4th down, and Steve Adazio, he's going to go for it. They bring Levy in the backfield. They love to throw the ball to him out of the backfield. Excellent in camp in that capacity.
It's got the Temple player to jump.
Well, they're going to bring pressure here. Not going to allow Anthony Brown to sit back in the pocket.
2 of 3 on 4th down. And Brown's taking a deep shot in the direction of Jeff Smith. Incomplete in the end zone, and they'll turn it over on downs. What you think of that call?
Yeah, I'm thinking get the first down or something a little shorter, but if he's got the green light and it's there, go ahead and take the shot, and all of a sudden he pops open. He's open for a while. The ball's just underthrown. You will never hear me criticize a quarterback for trying to make a play. That one qualifies as trying to make a play.
The Temple takes over, and they're trying to make a play. Bryant, the intended receiver, and Hamp Cheevers, who has a pick today.
I don't think Bryant found the ball fast enough. Maybe he didn't think it was coming to him or what was going on, but the defender to that side certainly was tuned in. I don't think Vintel Bryant thought that one was coming in his vicinity. Now you got to run the football.
Russo for Wright, and Wright again.
Wow.
High points, makes the catch. The helmet came off late.
What a catch. What a catch.
He's going to have to come off the field for a play.
Even the BC coaches, Temple talked to us about wanting to get him the ball more. They were very tuned in, I would say it that way, to Isaiah Wright and the athlete that he is.
35-yard gain, first down at the 32 of the Eagles.
They being the BC coaching staff.
Wright's got to sit out at play because the helmet came off at the end. 107 yards for Wright on his 6 catches. Going for Jaden Blue, number 18. And Wright's going to come right back in the game.
Hey. They're trying to get to Russo and Allen is just there about every other play.
Rolling out Russo to the sideline. That's Bryant.
Nice throw and catch. Excellent work and a good job by Bryant to continue coming back to keep himself between the defender and the football, to at least give himself a chance to make the catch.
3rd and 2 and a dangerous pass. Looking for Bryant. Incomplete. 4th down.
Now you're getting a little too pass happy. There's a bunch of time left in this game. It's 3rd down and 2. Turn around and give the ball to Armstead. Let him get the 1st down. If you got to give it to him 2 plays in a row, you do that.
Well, they got 1 play here to make 2 yards. They're 1 of 2 on 4th down.
You got Wright out in the slot with a big cushion on it.
Going for him. Wright dropped it. Incomplete. And they turn it over on downs.
Torres makes a nice break on the football and is able to punch it out, but coverage and pre-snap read dictated going to Isaiah Wright in the slot. He runs the slant. That's a heck of a play by Torres to get in there and fight the bigger Isaiah Wright. Torres only goes about 5'9", 180 pounds, and Wright's about 6'2", 220. Small guy won that fight.
That call on the last 3rd down changed the entire drive.
No doubt. I turn around, I give it to Armstead 2 times if I need to.
Eagles take over at their own 24. Glide's been in almost exclusively since Dillon went down with the left ankle. Hey, our Week 4 Monday Night Football matchup, an AFC West battle. Patrick Mahomes, the high-flying 3-0 Chiefs in the Mile High City, taking on Von Miller and the Broncos. 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific on ESPN. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6, served by Applebee's.
Maybe a false start here.
False start. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Right tackle Ben Petrula. Lost him 5 yards. 2nd down at 11. Brown spins, uses a stiff arm, throws downfield for Sweeney, incomplete at the 40.
I know what he's trying to do. At least just give Sweeney, who's a big-bodied target, an opportunity to make a play. But this stiff arm by Brown, and he's put some work in the weight room. He's stiff-armed a couple of guys, stepped out of a couple of tackles, and it was Todd Jones on the receiving end of that one. He's dodged a couple of sack opportunities by the Owls.
UC started 5 of their first 6 converting on 3rd down. Just 2 of 9 since, trying to convert here, and missed tackle is going to allow him to do so. And Levy, 1st down to the 38.
Yeah, we just talked about Levy in the game. They love to try getting him the ball out in space. Excellent receiver out of the backfield, and they're picking up the 1st down for Boston College.
Levy almost to the 40, met by Isaiah Graham, Mobley, and others for the Temple defense.
Mark, I still kind of reinforce this. There's a lot of time left in this football game. 150 or so, and then an entire 4th quarter to be played.
A 10-point game. First meeting between these teams since they were Big East members in 2004.
How about Glide?
Man, just running hard as well. He's signaled 1st down, but he doesn't have it. He's short by about a yard.
No, what you like about him is there's no messing around. He is north and south in a hurry.
Kept by Brown. Done that a couple of times on 3rd and short today, the keeper.
I absolutely love it. I love the call because you take out the ball handling. taking it back and you don't allow for penetration, or some defensive lineman slipping through and then disrupting things in the backfield, hey, I'll just take care of it myself. A couple of big grunts in front of you. Pick the side that you like and let's move the chains.
Coming this way is Jeff Smith. The flag comes down in the backfield. Smith picked up about 6, but
looks like it's going to be
back.
Yeah, look like a hold on Tommy Sweeney. The
offense,
big
number
tight end.
77, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, they call it on John Baker, who is kind of the rock in the middle of this offensive line. 2-time captain, makes all the calls up front. Watch just right in the middle of the screen, number 77, as he right there. You grab a bunch, you got your hands outside of the defender. He's, well, nice and wrapped up like a Christmas present.
So it's 1st and 20. Back to the 39. Glides bounced off one tackler and advances to the 43, where he's met by Christian Braswell for a 4-yard pickup.
Yeah, Temple right now, they're trying to throw, haymakers in terms of just get a guy on the ground, wrap up. They want to throw the knockout shot. And it's, these backs, the quarterback, obviously too talented to just tee off on. You got to make sure you wrap up Anthony Brown and Ben Glines. And of course, when Dillon was in the game, AJ Dillon along with that. A lot of missed tackles today for the Temple Owls.
They don't have to snap it. That's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. What will the 4th quarter have for us here in Chestnut Hill on this fall Sat quarter from Alumni Stadium in Chestnut Hill? 38-28 BC leading Temple.
Now this is huge drive for Boston College in terms of working this clock down. AJ Dillon still trying to get himself back in the game.
Left with what looked to be a left ankle injury. 2nd down and long. Brown's throw far side incomplete for Jeff Smith.
Temple has given up a bunch of third down and longs today. One I remember early being 3rd and 15. They got 17 yards. You got to get off the field right here, Mark.
On 3rd and 16. Line to gain is the 41 of the Owls. Brown's target is Walker. Flag on the coverage. Rock Ya-Sin. And there's also a flag.
That's going to
be Brown delivered the pass.
Do this all over again because it's going to be.
There are 2 fouls on the play.
Against Ya-Sin.
Holding offense number 67. Pass interference. Defense number 6. Those penalties offset. Replay 3rd down.
Yeah, there's a big battle, a little wrestling match going on between Michael Walker and Rock Ya-Sin along the sideline. The holding penalty, we're going to do it all over again.
Yeah, let's do this 3rd and 16 one more time. Brown towards the sideline. He's just going to be ushered out of bounds roughly by Sean Bradley. You don't see any flags.
These guys will hit you. Russell and Bradley, 2 single-digit guys for Temple. They play fast. Both juniors. He'll be back next year, but
and nothing there from Bradley.
No, there's just tremendous closing speed. A sideline to sideline guy, and like I mentioned earlier, he brings a tremendous amount of energy every single day.
Grant Carlson's had a good day punting with the exception of dropping the ball after his last punt attempt. This one he gets away nicely. Gathered at the 14, right. And at the 17 and stopped there out of bounds for a 4-yard return. Well, our football power index for the ACC teams, Clemson right now is down 3. taking on Syracuse, but their chance to win the ACC coming into this week 69%. That would take a huge hit if they lose.
So what you're telling me is if Clemson goes down,
it's
the
wide
ACC
open,
is absolutely wide open.
That 2% for Boston College would go way up, especially if they couple that obviously with a win today.
I'll tell you who's playing some pretty good football in that graphic is Miami Hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
They had to switch at quarterback, and they look like a different team.
Armstead. You know, there's still plenty of time for Temple just to keep feeding Armstead here.
There's that 2 yards we were asking for on 3rd down the last drive, and plus some.
Yeah, it goes for 5. Armstead again.
I think they recognize that was the avenue they should have gone to, and now they're going to feed Rock for a minute.
3rd down and 2.
Where is Isaiah Wright?
The answer is another run.
They don't need him there. Same situation.
1st down.
Different play and a different result.
But your point well taken. Isaiah Wright not on the field at the moment.
Watch that matchup with Zach Allen and Adam Klein at the top of the screen.
Not sure what was going on. Well, he got some pressure, threw it over the head over the direction of Armstead.
Allen he has given the true freshman all he can handle. But you know what? Adam Klein is going to be a much better player going forward after dealing with Zach Allen all day long. And Wyatt Ray on the other side is pretty good in his own right.
That was a strike that's caught by Sean Ryan. Pulled down at the 36.
3rd down.
And about a long 3.
I give you anything in the playbook right now. Long 3 yards. What are you going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Giving it to 7?
I'm going to give it to 7.
Yep.
Any way I can. Look at the formation. And nobody in the middle of the field. It means the pressure's coming from the outside. Give it right to 7.
Well, they're going to pass it to him out of the backfield, and he'll run for it as he tried to run over the defender there, Davon Jones.
Well, they were bringing pressure inside and off the edges, and Rock Armstead, unaccounted for out of the backfield, is going to outrace and outflank the defense. So just raise up, give it to him. Let's move the chains and get on with our business.
That's kind of the same thing as a run right there.
Yeah, no doubt. Extended run.
Yeah.
That's what you call those.
Setting up the screen, trying to keep his feet. Retrovato, and then he got tackled by the turf after he got the 1st down at the 45 of BC.
Retrovato could never really quite catch his balance, and just when you thought he would, he starts stumbling again. Heck of a job just to hold on to the football, though. Watch this dance move. It starts right there. I'm going to gather myself. All right, I'm ready. And the turf got me again.
What a fun player. The guy they call Nitro. Oh, that's going over everybody. Incomplete. Had Jaden Blue out there and also Randall Jones, but Mike Palmer had the coverage.
It looked like a bust with Randall Jones. Both guys, he and Jaden Blue in the same area, and it looked like a double move. Like Russo wanted maybe a curl and go, and both guys were in the same area, kind of ran into one another. Isaiah Wright back in the game down here in the slot.
Armstead falling forward across the 40.
This drive could mean a lot.
Oh, to me, they got to have some points here, don't
well, whether a field goal or
anything.
a touchdown, you need it. You're getting down around 11 minutes. Possessions are getting tight as we get closer towards the end of this game. This is about the time you've got to have some points if you're Jeff Collins and the Temple Owls.
3rd and 5. They do have Wright on the field. They throw it in his direction, and he has the 1st down.
He is some player. I mean, they have got all the ingredients to be a good football team. In the slot with Wright, and I mentioned the big receivers, Mack and Bryant on the outside. And they've got a dynamic runner Raquel Armstead.
But those numbers, 7 catches for 114 yards for Isaiah Wright. Came in with 8 catches on the year. Rock to the 31. Sebastian a tackle for BC.
Also need maybe to pick up the pace just a little bit. I understand this drive being so important. Want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. We got a slot receiver down here that's uncovered. Looks like Braden Mack.
Armstead. Well, where he tumbled forward is right near the marker. And where they're spotted, looks like he has a first down. Or he does. 8-yard run. With Travato now in there.
Like maybe Mike Palmer made that tackle. Who's in the game for Lucas Dennis, who was thrown for a targeting penalty.
Ooh, there looked like some contact there, no question.
No doubt about it.
Mack was about to run past Sebastian, and he grabbed him.
Brandon Sebastian knew it.
Defense number 10, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's a big-bodied receiver at about 6'5", working against 6'1", and outweighs him. He's taller. Gave him a move, he bit and knew he was beat. Sometimes it's just better to go ahead and take the penalty, because the other side of that is Braden Max dancing in the end zone. So this is it's Armstead time now.
6 first downs on this drive, and first and goal, and Armstead time begins. It's not over yet.
Wow,
now
what a tough run.
Gets all the way near the goal line, inside the 1.
Will Harris saves a touchdown run.
Give it right back to him. Not going to stop that. There is a flag. The line judge threw a flag. Apparently they had too many men on the field.
Maybe
Boston College had 12.
Yeah, they had 12 men on the field, but I'm not sure they ruled that Armstead got in the end zone.
No,
it looked like he was
is the runner was short of the goal line. Offside. Defense by the 12th player running off. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Replay second down.
I'm not sure how they kept him out of the end zone.
No. When he gets momentum going forward, that's about an automatic 3. And he had plenty of momentum going forward. He just, they only needed maybe a yard or so.
Well, Freddie Booth Lloyd, he's back in. He helped.
I don't get cute here. This game's too important. You're back in it. Get the ball to Armstead.
14th play of the drive. Pitch. Armstead in a foot race is going to win it. Almost. Ran into some resistance at the 5 by Mike Palmer, the free safety who came up. Touchdown, Temple. 4 TDs for Armstead, a new single game career high for the senior.
160 yards on the ground for Armstead, averaging, just over 7 yards a carry, and 4 touchdowns, second most of his career. His career high is 210 on the ground. We talked about this, Mark, from the top. That we got 2 of the best, or the better running backs in the country that we're going to go at it today. It has been as good as advertised.
It has indeed. Big extra point to try to make this a 3-point game, and it is up and through. 38-35. What a day for the Rock. Raquel Armstead using his speed to out that way. A 3-point game, 9:02 left. Let's take a look at today's exciting college football action with DirecTV. More for your college football thing. That's ahead.
I'm looking forward to that Pitt UCF game. Nation's longest win streak. They're playing some pretty good football. Rice, Wake Forest. Kyler Murray and the Oklahoma Sooners. He is rolling.
All right, 9:02 to go. Temple kicks it away. Walker at the 10. 25, 30 brought down there. Delvon Randall making the tackle on special teams. Getting the ball back. Leading at 38-35. Doesn't look like we're going to see AJ Dillon. He's sitting on the bench. No helmet nearby. That left ankle taped up. He was injured on their first drive of the second half, early in the third quarter. For a while, thought he may come back in. They taped it, retaped it. He was walking around trying to do some running on it, but at this point, doesn't look good for him to return. Glines just trying to make his way to the line of scrimmage. There is a flag. Dropped for a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, maybe a hold here, but they were run blitz all the way with Russell and Bradley, the linebackers coming. Expecting run on first down with Glines, and ran right into that play.
Offense, number 77, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, that's a couple on John Baker, the center. I mentioned earlier, two-time captain on this team.
Brown incomplete at the 20 to Glines. Just like that, it's 2nd and 20.
Yeah, they've tightened up the coverage, and they're bringing some pressure. So they're not allowing Anthony Brown to sit back and read out zone defenses and then all of a sudden find a receiver, and then he runs for another 10 or so yards. They have tightened the coverage up, and you can see it at the top of the screen, and then they're bringing a little pressure with it.
By the way, those of you looking for Pittsburgh and UCF from Orlando, that game going to begin on ESPN News. Time for Brown. Looking. Dangerous pass, incomplete, and a hard hit on the intended receiver, Jeff Smith. But there are 3 white jerseys all around him.
Sam Franklin, welcome to the ball game. My, did he show up in an ugly way. He's a little angry here. They tracking and throwing back across the middle a little bit late. That hurts.
Brown started 9 for his first 12 through the air. Andre, he is 6 for 21 since then. Mr. Franklin said hello.
Yes, he did, in a major way.
Brown will try to get some of this yardage back. It's a decent chunk up to the 28, but BC's going to have to punt.
You got a full complement of timeouts in your back pocket if you're Temple. About 8 minutes left in the ball game and plenty of time. You talk about missing a player. They miss AJ Dillon. Meanwhile, Temple is turning up the heat.
Low snap. Carlson gets it away, and a pretty good punt with Wright calling for the fair catch, taking it at the 27. Armstead and Temple, the offense coming back for the Owls. They're only down. A reminder that SportsCenter with SVP tonight after Ole Miss LSU on ESPN. We'll have reactions to Ohio State, Penn State, plus SVP's first look at his top 4 in the rankings. Could the SEC only get 1 team? And a live report from Paris before the final day of the Ryder Cup. SportsCenter with SVP, midnight Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Watch for Rock Armstead on SportsCenter tonight.
4 touchdowns and then his 4th 100-yard game in a row. Talk about playing some good football. That young man's doing it.
On the delay to Armstead. Still going across the 35.
My
10-yard run.
How about the change of direction? And immediately after he changes directions, he gets north and south. Then engages contact. It's supposed to go out the front door. He breaks it out the back, vertical, and then right into the contact.
Another first down run for Armstead, but this time he's rounded up by Zach Allen for just a gain of a yard. No question, Andre, we've seen momentum bounce back and forth in this game. Right now, Big Mo is on the Temple sideline.
It really is, and the pressure right now is on Boston College to stop this offense at Temple. found some things here in the fourth quarter. We've gotten back to basically what got him here. That's Armstead.
Russo stepping up, trying to escape, and can't. Sacked by Zach Allen back at the 30. Well, maybe that's the answer for BC. Their edge rushers, Allen and Ray.
Well, he's so versatile. He's so strong in the lower body that it's tough to block him, and he can play inside at defensive tackle, or he can come off the edge. And how do you keep allowing your true freshman Adam Klein one-on-one with one of the best defensive players in the country is beyond me. Now they put a tight end to that side to help the young freshman out.
On a big 3rd and 16, that ball may have been tipped, but it's incomplete. And 4th out, so they got the 10-yard run on their first play of the drive from Armstead, and then it stalls, and they're forced to punt with 6:07 to play.
This is one of the better players, defensive players in the entire country, Zach Allen, and you have him matched against a true freshman in Adam Klein. And that was the second play where he's actually off in coverage, but the sack was unbelievable.
He might have got a hand on that pass.
He's got excellent instincts.
He has 8 tackles. Allen does 4 tackles for loss, a couple of sacks. Walker trying to thread through. Does so. Across midfield, a great field position for BC at the 45 of Temple. Boston College hasn't scored since early in the 3rd quarter. They'll have great starting field position when we come back today.
Yeah.
And what a performance. 38-35, but really defensively, Zach Allen.
Just when you had, really when you had to have it. And all the momentum, as you described, going into that last Temple drive was on the sideline with the white jerseys. And so you needed a big defensive stop, and boy, did Zach Allen come to life again and save the defense for Boston College.
So after the Walker punt return, they begin at the 45 of Temple. And a couple-yard run for Ben Glides. They really start this drive, so to speak here, Andre, in 4-down territory, the way they run their offense.
Yeah, I mean, across the 40-yard line, it's 4 downs, and they're going to be able to really chew up some clock by doing that.
Glides, a good head of steam, a 1st down run, brought down from behind at the 25-yard line by Sam Franklin.
Well, like him protecting the ball, 2 hands on it as he engages contact, making sure not to put it on the ground.
Right back to Glides, breaks a tackle inside the 20. AJ Dillon was injured. No, he's still going. Now the play ends at the 16. Dillon injured what looked to be a left ankle on the first possession of the second half for BC.
Glides has come in and he's done a nice job.
First down. Glides again. Needs some resistance at the 15 and is stopped there by Quincy Roche.
It's just a compliment to the offensive line of Boston College when you lose a back like AJ Dillon and then Glides comes in and he's doing his thing. Glides now 16 rushes for 89 yards, closing in on 100, and that's since Dillon. But
after the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 36. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Automatic 1st down.
Well, that's about the last thing that Temple needs right now. But just a big compliment to the offensive line of Boston College, because when you have two guys step in and get close to 100 yards for both, and have well over 200 yards rushing by 2 backs. Well, that's the 5 guys up front, along with these big tight ends.
Levy takes it inside the 5, met by Benny Walls. The Pittsburgh UCF game from Orlando is underway now on ESPN News. We'll send you there when we are finished here at Chestnut Hill. Glides is in again. Still battling. He's going to get to the 1, or a little inside the 1.
I don't expect much passing from Boston College going forward. Well, now it's time to turn it over to the big guys. You get into that, well, what I refer to as the 4-minute offense.
Ty Mason helped out on the tackle, and he's the player down for Temple.
Where you're trying to just run out the clock.
So while they attend to Mason, was a guy who had a 36-yard pick 6 TD during their game against Tulsa last week, which made that the 4th consecutive game that Temple has scored a non-offensive touchdown. They've added to that today. They made it 5 games. Yeah, thanks to the scoop and score by Isaiah Graham Mobley earlier.
There's really no rush for Boston College. You can take your time. Imagine this is going to be another run.
Kept by Brown. No signal. He has not gotten in.
Well, they're going to mark him short, and it'll be 4th down here.
That was a 3rd down play, so it's 4th and goal. And there is no question what they're doing right here. 4th and goal.
Oh yeah, they're going. No doubt they're going for it here.
Could be the game right here for Boston College if they could punch it in. Handoff, Blinds. Did he go? Yes. Touchdown, Boston College. He met a lot of resistance from that Temple defense.
He did, but aided by the personal foul penalty. Helped to move the ball a little bit forward, and that made it easy. His job, good push. Big Tommy Sweeney, the tight end, is an excellent online blocker. Lee Martin, those guys up front, along with the offensive line, the tight ends, they get great push.
Jeff Collins, head coach at Temple, he's in the ear of the official. I don't think he's convinced the Glines got in. If it stands, it would be the first rushing touchdown of the year for Glines.
Well, they gotta find an angle that they're going to review every play.
Temple defense acted like they thought they stopped him short, as did the head coach Jeff Collins. And obviously it's a huge call because it was 4th down. If he didn't make it in, it's Temple ball.
Right.
And
with 3:11 and 3 timeouts.
Yeah, in a 3-point game. That call is going to stand. Well, a touchdown for Glines, who since Dillon went down with injury in the 3rd quarter, 19 carries, 103 yards, and now that touchdown. And the point after, up and good for Danny Longman. Longman's done a nice job with the kicking. He's assumed the point after role here in this game.
Actually kicked the first field goal of the game of the year
for BC.
Boston College. Oh, look at that stat line. Glines 20 carries, 106. Both backs over 5 yards a carry. Along with the work that AJ Dillon put in before his injury. That's impressive. That is big hats off, hat off to the guys up front.
They've obviously helped Glines, who's really the story of the second half for Boston College.
We told us about him. We talked about him and his versatility and the way he helps this offense. Excellent receiver out of the backfield. And now we know firsthand what he means to this offense out of the backfield.
You saw that veteran O-line for Boston College, 270 rushing yards. That offense today. Freddie Johnson, you need a play on special teams. He's out across the 30. Tonight, ABC, expect the whiteout conditions for this one. It's a top 10 matchup. Number 4 Ohio State, number 9 Penn State from Beaver Stadium, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 out on the West Coast on ABC and live on the ESPN app, so you can watch it anywhere. Saturday Night Football presented by Wells Fargo.
Those
two teams, Ohio State, Penn State, have played a couple of classics the last few years. We'll see if we get another classic tonight. The team that has had the big lead entering the fourth quarter the last two meetings has not won. Temple now down 2 scores. A pass over the head of Mack. Now it's just 3:01 to go. Temple's got to get it kicked into gear here. They do have all their timeouts.
Feet just a little too busy all day. Russo. 20 of 42. That's got to get fixed because he's under 50% for the year.
Russo taking a deep shot for Bryant. Incomplete.
Yeah, Bryant let the ball get to his body. If he goes up and hand catches this, then he may have an opportunity to bring it in. But when you wait for it to come down to your chest, that allows the defender to get back into the play. Reach out, make a play with your hands as opposed to trying to pin it on your shoulder pads.
That's freshman Elijah Jones on the coverage. A huge third down here for Temple if they don't make it.
Oh, it's 4-down territory,
yeah.
I think.
Russo behind right. 4th down.
When Big Jalen Robinson, the left tackle, is down, and we've had some issues and injuries up front, which is why Adam Klein, the true freshman, has started the last couple of weeks, but they could really ill afford to lose him. And just gets rolled up on by his quarterback.
Russo took a pretty good hit from Isaiah McDuffie. As they work on Robinson. Back to Russo. Remember, Andre, there was a stretch in the second quarter. Russo seemed to find his rhythm throwing the ball, but then allowed an interception that was not his fault. It wasn't a bad throw. It went off the hands of Freddie Johnson. And we thought, how would that affect him? And coincidentally or not, since then, it seems like he regressed kind of back to how he started the game.
Stared down a receiver, and then Torres stepped in and picked off the second pass. But you watch his feet, they're never really calm in the pocket where you just, you're standing in with confidence and standing tall in the pocket. It's always choppy, 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 and then the ball comes out. And then when it's those intermediate routes between 8 and 10 yards that we were talking about, they're coming at 100 miles an hour, and sometimes they don't have to come that fast. It's tight coverage. Maybe you put a little extra on it, but you just want the guys, your receivers, to catch the football when it's coming that fast. Those are hard to handle.
5th-year senior Jalen Robinson walking off under his own power.
The coaching staff, they feel like he is going to have a chance to play on the next level, and I was thoroughly impressed watching him on film. He's athletic, he's big, and then he's nasty. He finishes strong.
Well, as you mentioned, 4-down territory, even though they're at their own 33. Line to gain is the 43. We do have 3 timeouts, but Miles would like to keep possession of the ball and convert here. And a flag pre-snap. Or did they get a timeout?
Timeout. Temple. They're first. 30 seconds.
Well, they have to use one of their timeouts.
They want to make sure that they get the proper play call here. It's 4th down. It's a big, big point in the game here. So that's a smart timeout by Jeff Collins.
Armstead today has had a career high 4 touchdowns. The long run is the 75-yarder early. He's had a couple of 1-yard touchdown runs. And Rock Armstead, will his 4 touchdowns be in vain here? Right now they're down 2 scores.
I'm pretty sure he would give all that back. With 171, the 4 touchdowns, to be in a position to win this football game, and it's not over yet. But this is a big 4th down situation here for Anthony Russo.
Play clock down to 2. They get it off in time. Russo on 4th down to the far side for Wright, incomplete. And Boston College is going to take over on downs deep in Temple territory. It's Elijah Jones, number 20, the rookie freshman cornerback.
Got some length at 6'3", 170 pounds. He'll spend the season or the off season in the weight room, bulking up a little bit. He's going to be a good player. Torres is a senior on the other side, so he's going to have plenty of opportunities between the spring and next fall to take over as a starter.
Glides has been the story in the second half, rushing the ball for Boston College. He powers ahead for 8 yards to the 25.
Yeah, they are running right behind Lindstrom. The right guard is a very, very impressive player. He is opening up some holes. He's been magical. And here, if you're Boston College, just slow it down. I would actually huddle and let that play clock. You want to snap it when it's down just inside 5 seconds. No need to rush.
Boston College team that going into their game at Purdue last weekend, they were 3-0. They were ranked 23rd. They were in the top 25 for the first time in 10 years. And did not play well at Purdue. They're trying to bounce back from that. And I'll admit, earlier in this fourth quarter, Andre, BC had the 3-point lead, but Temple had the momentum. And you got to give a lot of credit to that BC defense, Zach Allen and friends, for helping them turn that momentum around.
And he is a special player. 8 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 pass breakups, a forced fumble, closing down in the running game off the backside. Just owning the right tackle, Adam Klein, throughout most of this game. One of the 2 sacks that he had right there, but he is something else. Has great bend, the size, the strength, the lower body strength makes it tough to block him. He can shed blockers. Next level's calling.
Mel Kiper has him as his number 2 senior defensive end. Right now, Kiper's got it projected as the 24th overall pick.
Maybe Bosa being number 1.
Yep, I would think so, even though he's been hurt.
The kid right there, Zach Allen's close.
Lines.
And here's why I like Allen. Now, we were talking about this during the break. You can line him up in any defense, whether it's 4-3, he can play in or tackle. You can line him up in a 3-4, he can play defensive end for you. I mean, there's so much versatility with his game that I think he's going to be much more attractive as teams start to really dial in on him.
Been a lot of defensive standouts for Boston College. Kiwanuka back in 2002-05. He was a 2-time All-American. B.J. Raji with the Packers. Luke Kuechly of the Panthers.
Tackling machine.
And Harold Landry, who was taken in the 2nd round by Tennessee, the most recent NFL draft.
Led the nation in sacks 2 years ago. They've had some good ones come through here. That young man falls right in line with all the good ones.
And his coach is not even harp about how good he is on the field, but how good he is off the field as well.
So they don't have to worry about what Zach Allen's doing when he leaves the football facility. They know that things are pointed in the right direction. He's got it. He's got life in order.
Temple has used all their timeouts. And Boston College will improve to 4-1. We're going to be back at ACC play next week at North Carolina State. Temple, this could be one they may think to themselves,
got away.
Got to let that one get away. Yep.
Yep.
They're going to drop to 2-3. The Owls are.
Turnovers, penalties. That's where you know, Jeff Collins will really talk to or concentrate with his bunch on, because that's when the game changed.
Temple back at American Conference play next week, hosting East Carolina.
Well, but I tell you what, we were in for a treat. We said that this audience was going to get a chance to see 2 really good running backs. They didn't disappoint.
And when you thought the departure of AJ Dillon with injury may be what takes down Boston College.
They gave
Glines
us a bonus.
steps up. Yeah.
It was a bonus appearance with Glines.
One more snap, and that's going to do it. Anthony Brown takes a knee. Boston College will take home the win, 45-35. We're going to take you out to All-State Saturday kickoff. Pitt taking on UCF in Orlando. For Andre Ware and our entire crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks so much for sharing this one with us. BC wins by 10. Let's send you out to Orlando.